Hear ye, this is Lord Potato. And this is What If Naruto Was the King slash Bringer of the Apocalypse? Part 2. Now, I know I had to really change the Part 1's name. Because the original name from, instead of being Bringer, was King, and then I just decided to put it back to King instead of Bringer, but then I just say Bringer slash King. Okay, it's a very confusing title. It's just like, I should have probably just said King, but whatever. You're probably wondering why didn't I record yesterday? Well, I did. I streamed, but I didn't fully record a what if or a video or anything. I should have done a short, but I didn't do it because it was my birthday and I just didn't feel like doing shit that much on my birthday. That, and I was already kind of tired because I had to go lift up some fucking wooden planks up, but not that point. So let me not do a recap. It's been about 4 days since I did this what if. Somewhere, probably 4 or 3, no 2. I don't remember when I did this what if. But other than that, let me begin into this what if. I should also mention that what if Naruto, what if Madara Uchiha came back to life? Part 5 might be coming out later, and also some other what ifs, but yeah. But let me begin in this what if, okay? So we go into Naruto kind of talking to a girl with blonde hair and blue eyes, in Darkness Country mostly. This is where Naruto is saying, "Hey Junko." This is where Junko is saying, "Oh hey Naruto." This is where Naruto seems to be a little bit more friendly to her than anyone else in the Leaf Village. Naruto's cold-blooded in the Leaf Village while he's nice to the other people that he met when he was traveling different villages, since he is in the Root Ambus. But Danzo can't control him because, Naruto has a special ability and dojutsu that won't allow him to be controlled. His eye usually does go crimson red with a star and a black star. And of course, this is where no one can actually control him because he's actually unlocking a power that no one in the world would ever or be able to control him at all. But yeah. But other than that, Naruto, he just goes and just talks to Junko a little bit. Junko is talking about that Shinkai is kind of getting on her nerves again, but yeah. Shinkai is laughing, but yeah, he's kind of just chuckling a little bit, yeah, because Shinkai is a guy with blue hair, or dark blue hair and dark blue eyes. And of course, Naruto has met him. Now, Shinkai is a little bit younger than Naruto and Junko. Naruto and Junko are 9 years old. And of course, where I think I mentioned they were 9 years old. 9 to 7 or... Yeah. So I'm going to just say 9 years old. Of course, this is where Shinkai is 7 years old, so 2 years younger than them. Of course, this is where, Naruto is saying, Shinkai, can you not do something stupid like that again? This is where Shinkai says, sure, big bro, Naruto. This is where Naruto, shakes his head and say, fine, whatever. This is where, Junko says, so, when are you going to come to darkness instead of saying Leaf Village and being whatever you're like to call it, Root Ambu? Ambu, or what is it called? Naruto says Root Ambu. Well, the reason why I'm still staying in the Leaf Village is because, even though I am strong enough to leave and won't be considered a rogue ninja, or will be considered a rogue ninja, the reason why I can leave easily and all that, I can always just say I died on a mission and you can't find my dead body. The reason why is because, I'm not the nicest in jerky. I don't really know why they have these seals on me. Naruto shows us seals, and of course Junko says, I don't know much about sealing. Naruto says, exactly. These seals are, I think they're called iron seals, which they seal off my chakra. I don't actually know what my chakra actually feels like. I've been kind of, I never felt my chakra. Probably when I was way younger before these seals were put on me. But I don't know who actually put them on me. Naruto does not know that the 4 Hokage is his father, so that's why. He just doesn't know what these seals are for. This is where Naruto says, but whatever. I'm going towards, back to a village after already completing one of my missions. That's where Junko says, okay, well then good luck. That's where Junko waves at Naruto and Shinka says, yeah, good luck. That's where Naruto just appears in just a speed. He just disappears in speed. Naruto's already extremely fast, extremely strong, and extremely almost anything. He's not human. He's supernatural human speeds. He's just like all his like abilities are supernatural. Seems that they are not normal to be normal natural. So yeah. So of course Naruto he gets to the village in like 3 days. Mostly goes into a root base and talks to Danzo. Well, not talk to Danzo much. He just bows down and says that I completed my mission. That's all. Danzo says, "Okay, Naruto, I'm here to do something else." That's where Naruto says, "Yeah, what?" This is where Danzo goes up to Naruto, and this is where Danzo says, "You see here, how should I say? You have heard about the Uchiha massacre, right?" Naruto nodded. That's where Danzo says, "Okay. You know how Itachi was the one to murder them all?" Naruto nodded again. "Well, I want you to go after Itachi and kill him." And Naruto shaked his head, sure? But before Naruto was about to leave, this is where something happens. A flying Raijin appears out of nowhere, and this is where Danzo says, That's the Yellow Flash! This is where Danzo told all his root almost to disappear now, and Danzo also tried to disappear. And Naruto was about to try to jump away, but someone knocked him out in an instant. This is where Naruto was confused who knocked him out. This is where Naruto wakes up. Of course, he's in the, village of Konoha, but in the alleyway. This is where Naruto's confused. What? What the hell just happened? That's where Naruto, he gets up. He doesn't see his Ruamu clothes no more. Not his mask, his blank mask, his black clothing, but just wearing absolutely nothing but just like bright clothing. That's where Naruto says, "Oh, this orange looks disgusting." That's where that's the only thing that he has. He has none of his kunais. Well, one of his kunais that he kind of used to kill people. He doesn't have that no more. And, well, he feels kind of weakened, like if he had poison injected to him. That's where Naruto is getting up. Of course, he sees something. He sees, these, on his wrist are chains. Like, this, cuff. This is where he has another one in his other arm. And his legs has it also. Well, mostly his ankles. Naruto's looking at it and it looks like it has more seals. That's where Naruto's confused. That's where Naruto sees the bright ass orange suit, and this is where, Naruto is saying, what just happened? I don't know what happened. Maybe it's another test for Danzo. That's where Naruto disappears by kind of just showing off his speed a little bit, but it seems like these cuffs are kind of slowing him down. Like he can't move his body fully because the cuffs are heavy as hell. But Naruto's speed doesn't matter. His supernatural strength is still strong enough. This is where he rushes through some buildings like on top and through them also, mostly abandoned ones, and found the entrance towards the root Ambus. This is where when Naruto was going towards it, two Ambus appear. These Ambus says, "Hold there. You are not." This is where Naruto killed them both by just grabbing them from the neck and cracking them. Yeah, Naruto killed them in an instant. He doesn't even mind killing root Ambus. So if he doesn't care, then he shouldn't give a shit that much. This is where Naruto, he goes towards, the root Ambu base. And of course, he still has his bloodlust thirstiness. But of course, he managed to control it after killing those two Ambus. So of course, he gets in and he sees nothing but pure light in the root Ambu base. There's a bunch of fire all around. And of course, it seems that it's burning. But he also noticed with his eyes, because his eyes are like eagle eyes. This is where when he was looking around, he saw that there was a yellow hair person with this Hokage robe, as our Naruto reading, for Hokage. This is where Naruto says, the fourth Hokage? Why is he down here? This is where he looks around. He sees more Anbus, but they're not root Anbus. But he sees Anbus on top of root Anbus killing them. It's where Minato's screaming out saying, Danzo, I knew you were a bastard. Now that I have evidence and the evidence for you to be executed, I here stand by execution of your, well, terrible ways. This is where Danzo says, huh, like if you could kill me, you little insolent brat. This is where Minato appears, stabbing him in the eye, and then cutting his neck. No, well, not Naruto. Minato already noticed the Shinsuke's eye, but, well, Danzo couldn't really use Shinsuke's eye, so yeah. This is where Naruto realized that Danzo's dead. But this is where Naruto almost got attacked by another Anbu. This is where the Anbu says, I see. So you're that kid out, well, the fourth Hokage knocked out. You know you shouldn't be down here. And I thought Inuichi managed to erase your mind, erase your dreams, or not dreams, your, well, memories. This is where Minato heard the commotion and appeared right next to the Anbu and saw Naruto. This is where Minato says, what is he doing down here? Don't know. I can't tell if Inuichi managed to erase his memories or he got lost. Don't kill him. We still need him to be bait for, well, Minato says, don't kill him. I still need him to be, well, bait for the villager so he can be beaten up. Naruto, his ears perked up. He's hearing all of this. Even though Naruto's a little bit further away from them, Minato is trying to talk whisperly towards the other Anbu. This Anbu is a captain. And this captain does know about Naruto's status. Naruto is not the Jinchuriki, but he is just bait for the villagers to believe that Naruto is the Naruto Jinchuriki. And Minato's telling him not to kill him. Because Minato seems to really not care about Naruto that much or at all. But Naruto's hearing it. His ears are, like, they're incredible. It seems that his hearing became much better over time. His supernatural strength, supernatural everything has been getting powerful for some reason. More powerful. He doesn't know why. But of course, this is where, well, he hears Minato Namikaze says, just knock him out and put him back into the alleyway. Also, if you have to, get him to Inuichi and then make him erase his memories. We cannot allow him to remember anything about his root Anbu's past. That, and I will not allow him to ever leave this village until he dies. If he dies, it's fine, because then everyone will be satisfied. Besides, my two children, he is one of my children, but I don't care. He's just a weakling. Okay? Just knock him out. This is where the Anbu captain nodded and decides to appear right next to Naruto. And Naruto was about to dodge until he says, you know what, I shouldn't. This is where the Anbu knocked him out. Of course, Naruto didn't fully went knocked out. He actually had one of his eyes kind of open a little bit. This is where the Anbu grabbed him and of course disappeared. This is where when the Anbu captain was like going towards Inuichi, this is where Naruto, he like was on the back, well on not the back, mostly on the like shoulder of the Anbu, and Naruto was awake still, and of course he saw some of that kunai, like that kunai pouch, and Naruto goes in, being extremely sneaky. And so the Anbu cannot sense his chakra movement. Naruto can easily assassinate this person, which he does. He stabs him right in the head, killing him. This is where Naruto was let go, and this is where Naruto takes the Anbu's like clothes. Now, of course, this wasn't Anbu captain, but Naruto killed him in an instant without mercy. This is where Naruto says, pathetic. This is where Naruto disappears, having the Anbu's clothing. But this is where Naruto knows that the Anbus might be looking for him also. So, of course, Naruto had to hide in plain sight. So what Naruto did is went into a shop, kind of bought some stuff with the the Anbu's kind of money, because he did kind of rob him everything. And of course, this is where Naruto, he bought a dark green coat, a kind of black shirt, a, well, dark blue pants, and, well, black sandals. Of course, he had to somehow dye his hair from blonde to all the way black, but, well, not blonde. It actually fully turned black. It hasn't been blonde for a while. It's just been black. This is where Naruto's, one purple eye and one blue eye are kind of just looking around. Of course, this is where, he got lenses, like eye lenses for his eyes, different colors. And of course, this is where he puts him to be green. Of course, this is where, Naruto is getting rid of a bunch of things of what he looked like originally. Of course, he got a haircut. His hair was pretty long to be black, but now it's short. It's short like him and original canon Naruto. Now, of course, is where, Naruto, he's walking away. He's like, he has all these stuff. Also, the whisker marks that he has, yeah, he kind of put on a mask. So, yeah, a black mask, mostly. Face mask, mostly, but yeah. This is where Naruto, he disappears and walk away. This is where he still has the Anbu's money and other things, but yeah. But the Anbu's clothes, he kind of just burned them by having a lit match and just burned them all. This is where, Naruto walked away, hiding in plain sight in the village. He saw that the root Anbus are gone, meaning that he can no longer get out of the village freely. It seems that all root Anbus spots that getting out of the village freely was out of the question, so he won't be able to see Junko, Shinkai, let me say that. He won't be able to see Kiyomi, Uchiha, or Gaara. And of course, he can't see Shiroi, so of course, that's out of the question. This is where those are the only people that kind of gave him a little bit of happiness. This is where Naruto, he goes and walks around the village. Now he does know about survival food and does know how to kill people and also take their money and just kind of like go buy food and all that. But yeah, even though Danzo tried to limit his learning process, Naruto is still a smart person and he did learn a lot of things. Not from Danzo, even though Danzo tried to limit his stuff. Not from Danzo, but from someone else that had long black hair, pale white skin, had these purple highlights or eyelashes or whatever in his eye, and had golden eyes, golden slick eyes. Something that he thought Shiroi was his father or something, but really this person was Orochimaru, and Orochimaru decided to teach the boy because he was so interested with the boy. The fact that the boy, even though with the limits the education he had from Danzo, he decided to teach the boy a little bit to see if he would learn more. Naruto learned really fast, extremely fast. Like he learned in an instant. Of course, any Kenjutsu training, he was trained by, Orochimaru, because Orochimaru wanted to see how fast is his learning. If his learning speed in, learning basic mathematics and other things are incredible, how good is he with weapons? He trained him with a Kenjutsu and sword style. And of course, Naruto was extremely good in learning how to use a tanto, a medium sword, or even a long sword. This is where, he was also good in doing surgery, like medical stuff. But experimenting, he was also extremely good. Orochimaru wanted to make Naruto his own little, prodigy. His, similar to him. Because he sees Naruto being extremely smart, extremely genius, and also being, kind of bullied by how he looks and how he is and the status that he has. Similar towards he was and when he was younger, Orochimaru was. How people would look at him with hatred because he looked like a snake or something. This is where Orochimaru smiles. Of course, he was kind of annoyed with Danzo, with still having Naruto under control him. Or really not even under control Naruto, because Naruto was never working along with him that much. This is where, every information that Naruto had on Leaf Village, because he did gather some, he decided to just give it to Orochimaru. Because, Orochimaru seems to be the only one to help him. And of course, Naruto did really not care that much about the status. This is where Orochimaru says, I see all these entries seem point for Ru Anbu and also Anbus. This is interesting. But yeah. But we go back into Naruto. It was mostly a flashback, but yeah. But this is where, well, Naruto, he is, well, just kind of, what's it called? He is just like learning about the village a little bit more. Trying to look around. Of course, this is only a 9-year-old Naruto. This is where Naruto, he walks around. Of course, we go into somewhere in a library somewhat, or someone getting towards a library. A kid with red hair, purple eyes. Well, yeah, mostly red, dark red hair. Most of his blonde highlights disappear and turn into just red. Of course, where, well, his purple eyes are, well, there. This is where, well, he's going straight towards the library. His dark purple eyes, as you mentioned, not like dark. They're very dark. This is where he is going towards the library. This is where, well, this person is named Enma. Now, of course, this is where, well, Enma is going towards the library just to learn about some things. Now, Enma, he is 10 years old. He is actually a little bit older than Naruto 1 hour. Well, not 1 hour, 1 year. Now, Menma's 11. 11. But yeah, 11. I don't know why I say 11. But of course, where, well, he is 1 year also older than, well, Enma. But yeah. Of course, where, well, Enma is going to the library, and of course, where, well, he didn't overhear this, but a couple of girls were saying, so, Izumi, are you here to kind of try to, how should I say, are you here to just be a bitch or something? Another girl said to Izumi. Izumi Uchiha is actually the twin sister of, well, Sasuke Uchiha. And of course, she says, fuck off, Kyoki. No, wait. Oh, not Kyoki, Kyoko. That's her name, Kyoko. This is where a girl with purple hair and kind of, well, lightish purple hair and like purple eyes said towards, got told by Izumi. This is where, well, Kyoko says, fuck off, bitch. This is where a lightish blue hair girl with like her eyes being blue color kind of says, Izumi, shut up. We know how you like to kind of put boys and other people like under your feet. This is where Izumi says, oh, fuck off. I can make anyone do it because I'm so beautiful, Izumi said. This is where another girl with, well, pink hair and kind of lightish blue eyes kind of says, you're just being a goddamn. This is where, before she said the word, they see a boy with dark red hair and purple eyes just walk past him. This is where he is going towards the library. This is where he always does this because, well, Enma is always trying to figure out more and more information and more information. Not about the Leaf Village, about the different Kekai users. He seems to be more interested in that. That, and he wants to figure out where is his brother exactly, even though he can never find his youngest brother. But of course, he just walks past him, and of course, is where, Izumi says, huh? Oh, another dude. This is where the three girls says, you're just being a goddamn slut about it. This is where, well, Izumi says, you said a bad word to me. My parents are kind of, how should I say, well, execute you for telling an Uchiha princess like me about that word. This is where, what's it called? Kyoko and the lightest blue hair girl was named Estef, and the pink hair was named Suki. Of course, they look at her to say, and do we give a shit? This is where Izumi says, screw you girls. I can make any guy submissive to me. But, that boy looks interesting. This is where Estef says, then go try to make him submit to you. This is where Izumi says, sure, I can try. This is where she goes to annoyed Emma. Yeah, but Enma. And of course, this is where Enma, he's going to the library. But this is where a black hair female with kind of black onyx eyes appear. This is where she says, hi, my name is Izumi Uchiha. What's your name? This is where she has this bright smile and trying to be, what's called cute enough for Enma to kind of fall in love with her. Enma walks past her like he doesn't give a shit. This is where Izumi goes, ugh. This is where Steph, Suki, and even Kyoko start dying of laughter. Just because they just saw Izumi get rejected in just the instance. This is where Izumi glares at all three of them. And of course, this is where, well, Steph says, wow, you really got rejected. That's the first I ever seen. She's laughing at Izumi. And Izumi goes, I'll show you what I can do. That's where she appears again right in front of Enma and put out her arms and says, hey, want a hug? This is where she's trying to be adorable towards Emma, and Emma just disappears and appears behind her. This is where Izumi goes, how is this bullshit hard? This is where the three girls start laughing even more, but yeah, Izumi's getting angry, and this is where she appears right in front of Enma, saying, give me a hug. This is where when she was about to hug Enma, this is where Enma disappears again and appears kind of facing her. This is where Enma says, what do you want? This is where Enma's eyes seems to be cold, blooded eyes of a murderer. But really his eyes are just cold. This is where she says, I just want a hug. You don't want to hug a beautiful girl like me? This is where Enma says, hell no. This is where Izumi goes, she gets stabbed in the heart. This is where Death, Kyoko, or not Koyoki, let me say it again. Kyoko and even what's called Suki started laughing at Izumi even more because she got fucking rejected so fast. And this is where Izumi says, what's your name anyway? No, Enma says, he doesn't say his first name, Uzumaki. This is where she thinks about it. Uzumaki. Menma Uzumaki? This is where all of them widen their eyes and, wait, Menma? This is where, not Suki, Izumi says, no wonder I cannot, what's it called? What, wait, no, Enma falls in love with me. And that means if Menma is not here, you're his younger brother, Enma. Oh. This is where Emma just smacks his head and says, that took you fucking too long. How you just dumb? Menma has orange hair. I have red hair. Crimson fucking red hair. Jesus fucking Christ. No wonder the Uchiha clan already died a long fucking time ago. This is where Izumi gets stabbed in the heart even more. Because her clan did die by her older brother named Itachi. And of course, this is where, well, she kind of gets saddened. This is where Emma says, oh my fucking God. God damn it. Leave me alone already. This is where Izumi, she has tried to make Enma fall in love with her before. And of course, this is where, well, we go into a flashback. A flashback of when, well, Enma and Menma were actually brought along with Kushina towards the Uchiha compound. Izumi already made what's called, well, Menma kind of acknowledge her. And of course, Menma did kind of fall in love with her, but a little bit, not much. Mostly he had his love to, well, the Hyuga heiress, but yeah. Of course, this is where Izumi did try to make also Enma fall in love, but Enma had, well, red and blonde hair at this time. Well, blonde highlights mostly. This is where it was getting smaller, the highlights, and turning mostly red. And this is where Izumi says, hey there, don't you want to go at, this is where Enma ignores her. This is where Izumi says, why did you ignore me? She gets angry. And of course, this is where she's trying to outsmart Enma into trying to make him kind of be enraged, angry at her, or anything. But Enma, what he does is just ignore her. This is where Izumi says, you know, if you keep ignoring me, I'm going to have to tell your mom about this. And then she's going to hit you for, well, ignoring such a beautiful... This is where Enma says, do it then. This is where Enma had his, like, voice be so dark that Izumi almost got scared. She almost fell back. This is where Enma's like, what's it called, an aura appearing, like red chakra started appearing. Yes, this is a QB power. And only Emma did this because, well, the Ninetales, he is kind of friends with a little bit. And of course, he does know about the Uchiha hatred for it. So, of course, this is where he doesn't like that many Uchihas. So, of course, he's scared the shit out of Izumi with that power. This is where Izumi gets scared. This is where, well, Izumi goes into a flashback and then they just shake their head. This is where she gets scared. And this is where she says, Emma? This is where Suki, Kyoko, and even stuff were kind of walking and saying, "Yo, Izumi, why are you so scared? It's just because you got rejected." It's funny though, but you don't need to be that scared. This is where not Koyoki, Izumi say, "No, I'm not scared." This is where, well, Izumi says, "Then why you're just there, just sitting there? Are you just scared of the boy rejecting you?" I knew you were that low steam. She kind of just stuck her tongue at, well, Izumi said, no, that's not the case. This is where, well, Enma was just getting quite annoyed. And this is where, well, he just goes to the library by just walking straight to the library. And this is where, well, Izumi kind of follows him, not knowing why Enma does this all the time. Being in the academy, he does learn some stuff, and she is in the same classroom with him a little bit. Of course, this is where, well, she always tried to stay away from him because, well, multiple people try to stay away from him. But yeah, so where, well, Izumi goes to the library with him, and of course the other three girls follow along just to kind of laugh at her if she gets rejected even more. But yeah, this is where, well, they get into a library, and of course Enma's at a table with so many books and so many scrolls that he's just reading through them. This is where, well, he's reading through a clan called the Yami clan. This is where they use darkness and other things, and this is where he just ignores it. This is where he goes into other clans, but yeah. Izumi is like right in front of him, sitting down and reading a book. This is where every time she just looks up at Enma, thinking he might slip up, and this is where she can have her chance and kind of tell her mother, well, not her mother, his mother, about what he did. And then she can have, well, blackmail for, well, Enma. So this is where Izumi goes, "Hey, Enma, you want to tell me a secret of yours?" This is where Enma looks up, says no. This is where Izumi says, "Damn it, I need to think of something." This is where the three girls are seeing this, and they realize that Izumi is trying to get blackmail so he can submit to her. And this is where Izumi says, "You don't really want to tell me a secret?" This is where Emma thinks about it and says, "You know what? Sure. And you can sure get your friends over here, why don't you?" Izumi goes, "They're not my friends." This is where, well, Emma walks up, kind of grabs a chair, kind of pulls her, well, towards the other girls. And this is where the other girls are confused. This is where Emma says, "This is a secret. This is mostly an S-rank secret. Well, let me say it again. S-rank secret. That means if you tell anyone, you're gonna get your head cut off in an instant. But let me tell you anyway." Enma is smiling so creepily that they're all scared now. This is where Izumi gulps and wonder what Enma's going to tell her. This is where Emma says, "Oh, well, you know, it's called, I might have peed my pants when I was younger at 5 years old." This is where they all just look at him, confused. How is that an S-rank secret? And this is where Izumi says, "Oh, so if I tell anyone about this," this is where Emma says, "I'm not finished. That's not an S-rank secret. That's just a secret for you having blackmail. But I have something else better than that. I'm the Ninetales Shinchuriki host. That means I'm the jailer of the Ninetales. Tell anyone and you die in an instant." He said it so creepily and so just evilly in his face. So where they all heard that, and they all pale at the words that he was saying. This is where Enma was smiling even more when he saw those faces. This is where Izumi realized that Enma just played them all into a little secret, very dangerous. This is where Enma says, "You can't tell your parents, you can't tell anyone. You're gonna have to keep it all by yourself until you die." He said that last part so coldly, but so well, suggests mostly, but yeah. This is where he says, well, other than that, that's my little secret. You wanted to know, Zumi, right? You wanted to use it as blackmail. Well, if you say it anyway, and try to use it as blackmail, you might just accidentally die. Even if you are the last Uchiha, your brother is still there, and your older brother is still over there somewhere around. So if you die, it doesn't really matter. He smiles, he does evilly at her. This is where Izumi gets scared. This is where Izumi says, why? She said, trying to not be so stuttery. That's where Emma says, because you wanted a secret, right? Emma goes closer to her. You wanted to know my dark, deepest secret, right? This is where Izumi says, oh, I just want a lightly secret. This is where Emma says, oh, sorry. I don't have very light secrets. And Auriemema has told everyone about that little part, since he likes to be chocolate and all that. You might have heard about it anyway. Besides, I don't show light secrets. I show my dark, deep secrets to enemies just like you. Or friends, if you want to reconsider that. He smiles even more. His face looked like it was about to split from the grin. He keeps growing and growing. So where Izumi gets scared even more. Of course, also flustered because her face turns red because how Emma is so close. And this is where Estef and the others are kind of scared, shaking also. This is where, well, Emma says, but other than that, if you don't mind me, I'm going back to reading. So leave me alone. And so where his aura changes from a very orangey red because it was out. That was what it was appearing towards a purplish color, to a very dark purplish color. This is where we go into Naruto, and Naruto felt his power and felt that his power is getting unlocked. This is where he goes into an alleyway, and this is where he sees the mirror, like a little shard of glass. He picks it up because his eyes were burning. His eyes were hurting. He didn't know what's happening. This is where he looks into the mirror and all that, and his eyes change from just crimson red, from like the dojutsu that he had, crimson red and the black star, towards having one not outer ring, mostly a ring in the eye, just one red ring. This one red ring. This is where his power boosted up, and this is where he had a ring in his hand, like a ring appear out of nowhere. This is where, well, he has it in his, like, well, how should I say, right hand. A reddish ring. He doesn't understand it much. But when he touches it, something happens. Something dark and malicious happens into that ring. For some reason, he sees a ghostly figure appears with red armor and like a horse. The horse is on fire. The armor is also on fire. This person having like this reddish sword in his right arm and his other arm having a mace, like a mace, and having spikes on it. And it's red and all that and on fire. And of course, he like slashes at some of the buildings like right next to Naruto. Not at Naruto, but just slashes around and kind of smashes the building and all that. And the swings and like hits are so powerful and devastating. It's where, well, the being bows down to Naruto by just putting his head down. And of course, is where Naruto's head, something appeared. Something like a ghostly figure of a crown appears. Then it disappears fast after it appears. This is where his dojutsu disappears by just turning back off into his like greenish eyes. But of course, his greenish eyes, well, they're what's it called, the lenses, kind of burn off and showing his blue eyes and purple. This is where a change from blue and purple towards a crimson, well, not crimson red, towards, well, a reddish lightish color. This is where, well, he's confused, but of course, he doesn't care. His eyes change. Of course, this is where he doesn't give a shit that much. This is where, well, he then just says, what was that? That power. The ghostly figure already disappeared. Yes, if you're wondering what this figure was, I will now mention the name. It is called the Horseman, one of the Horsemen of War. That's what it is. That's the ghostly figure that Naruto kind of appeared right in front of him. This is where he says, So interesting. He looks at the mirror again, or the little glass, and saw his eyes being now a reddish orangey color. But yeah, so where he says, seems it's not green, blue, or purple. This doesn't matter. This is better than I thought. This is where, well, his hair also highlights of his black hair switches from having like highlights of blonde hair that will turn to black fully to having just purely some reddish highlights. This is where he says, interesting, interesting, very interesting. This is where, well, Naruto says, that's interesting. Why did I get that felt power? That power that I felt a while ago was strong. Was it that the reason why my power unlocked? I don't know why, but I should stay in the village instead of leaving just like my original plan. Well, I should just stay. This is where he decides to stay, and of course just walk out of the alleyway and kind of disappears. Now, of course, the alleyway looks fucked up and all that, but the both side of the building that Naruto was in the alleyway were both abandoned. So of course, no one was in that place. So this is where, well, Naruto kind of walks away, but yeah. This is where Enma it just keeps reading. This is where Izumi is shaking and kind of like holding on to well, Suki, who's also shaking, as if it's kind of scared because she now has an S-rank secret that she might accidentally blabber about. And well, Kyoki, not Kyoki. Wait, let me say that again. Kyoko kind of says, seems that he told us an S-rank secret. We shouldn't tell, shouldn't we? Swear, SF says, are you not scared? This is where, well, Kyoko says, don't know. I really don't care that much either. This is where SF says, yeah, it's just a secret, right? You should just keep it. This is where Suki kind of says, that is true. He said just keep it, don't say anything unless you want to get killed, but yeah. This is where Suki says, yeah, we should. This is where Sumi is still like shaking. And this is where Suki is holding on to her. And this is where Suki says, I should probably let go of you. This is where Sumi says, please don't. This is where Suki says, you're a grown, you're 9 years old. You shouldn't be shaking like this. Aren't you in the academy? Aren't you 3 also in the academy? Izumi kind of replied. This is where they say, yeah. And we should just act like, well, kind of being a ninja already. This is where you're from a clan and you're being a spoiled little brat, one of them said. And you're being a crybaby at the same time. Be a fucking Uchiha and stop acting scared. You're supposed to be stern, aren't you? All Uchihas are, SF said. This is where Izumi tries to act stern, but this is where she's scared. Fearing the eyes that Emma's shown. Those eyes are just full of hatred and nothing. That's where, well, Enma is done reading after reading all his pages, and when he looks up, he still sees those 4 girls, and this is where he says, what? I thought you all would have left after me telling you that dangerous secret. Why aren't you gone? This is where Emma shows. Now, of course, he seems like his tone is changed from just this dark, evil tone towards, like, talking about the weather. This is where, well, they say that we are not leaving. This is where SF says, we don't care if you're the whatever. This is where Enma says, interesting. Okay. Well, if you don't mind me. This is where Enma says, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna be leaving. This is where Enma gets up after yawning and just walks away. This is where they're all still sitting there. And they realize it's already dark, and so they got up and left. This is where Enma, he's walking towards his, like, house and all that. And of course, this is where, well, he walks past someone with black hair and kind of highlights of, like, orangey red hair. And, well, his eyes being orangey red at the same time. Having a ring and his clothing being kind of different. It seems that Naruto walked past next to Enma. And this is where their connection has actually grown stronger. Like a connection has appeared there. Like think of it like a link has just appeared. This is where a link of chains has appeared between both of them. And this is where their connection were stronger. And this is where both of them turn around. Orangey red eyes connected with dark purple eyes. It's where Enma says, do I know you? This is where Naruto nodded. Well, kind of like, not nodded, shook his head and says, no, I haven't seen you at all. This is where, well, Enma says, interesting. Can I know your name, though? This is where Naruto kind of hesitated. And this is where Naruto says, Naruto. Enma says, interesting. Naruto, my name is Enma. This is where both of them looks away. And this is where, well, they walk away. Enma, for some reason, has a strange feeling. Naruto, Naruto, Naruto. Where have I heard that name? He got to the, well, compound. He got in. He kind of walked away. And kind of went into his, like, well, room mostly. And not talking to his mother. Or his father or his brother. And of course, well, he lays in his room, mostly in his bed. And kind of grab a book from his, like, what's it called, like, table next to him. And of course, he reads it, the Gusty Ninja. He reads the first name, Naruto. He has a little picture that's on there that shows 3 boys. This is where Enma, well, it's Menma, Enma, Naruto. This is where, well, Enma looks closely at Naruto, the youngest one. The one that's 1 year younger than him. Black hair highlights. Black hair, red highlights. Reddish eyes. Naruto. So where Enma widens his eyes now. Enma has figured out that boy was Naruto, but his hair changed. Did he dye it? Could have been. Damn, now I can't. That was my only chance to see him. Fuck. This is where, well, Naruto walked away. And of course he kept the name Enma in mind. Enma meaning the king of hell to him. For some reason. But this is where he walks away. But this is where I'm gonna leave it up for part 2 of What If Naruto was well, let me say that again. What if Naruto was the king or / the bringer of the apocalypse? Part, well, 2. Now you're wondering why Naruto is, well, if you're wondering why Naruto kind of got the power from Enma, well, think about it. If you have read a little bit about the, well, stories about the 4 horsemen, you will actually know a little bit of where I'm gonna kind of take this a little bit. But if you don't, I will explain it into the coming parts. But other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and potato. But yeah, other than that, bye bye, potato.